Hello and welcome to another Zip Fit Hit and another one of my lunchtime workouts. My name is Christopher Smith, owner of Zip Fit Club, and I'm bringing to you another lunchtime training session that you can do during your working day, short, fast and effective workouts. I apologise that I wasn't here on Monday. Over the weekend, it was a real honour and a privilege to be involved in the Barnes Rugby Club Big Lift. It was in memory of a man called Gary Garrett, who sadly passed away because of the coronavirus, and also so in memory of him we wanted to lift as much as we could between us, and we managed to lift 7.5 million kilograms from ground to above head, and to be honest, I don't think I've ever lifted as much in my life, and I've never had muscle soreness like this in my life. It's something I don't advocate normally, training that hard, but it was for a good cause. And we managed to raise over £100,000 for the NHS, so incredibly proud to be part of that, and a massive congratulations to any of the Barnes crew that got involved, and also thanks to everybody that supported us. Okay, so in a moment I'm going to start with a 5-minute warm-up, but I'm just going to explain something first. We now have a series of workouts on YouTube, youtube.com. Search for ZipFit TV. There are lots of different workouts. There's about 16, 17 workouts on there now, which you can choose from. But what I've decided is that actually I'm going to start to do sessions based on ability level. So if you ever see me wearing a red t-shirt, that basically means we're going to be doing a beginner session. If you see me wearing a navy blue t-shirt, that means we're going to be doing an intermediate session. And if you see me wearing a fluorescent yellow t-shirt, that means we're going to be doing an advanced session. And I'm going to try and mix those up so there's lots of variety for people, because what I don't want this to become is something that when people look at the workouts and think that's way too easy for me, or that's too hard and I don't want to be part of this. This isn't about your ability level. This is about getting you out, outside, getting you away from your office slump, to get yourself healthier, fitter, help balance posture, muscle tone, try and get that heart rate up, and I realise that everybody isn't of the same ability. So that is the plan going forward. So I'm going to try and I will explain that on YouTube, so you'll have a little thing saying beginner or intermediate or advanced, just to make, and I'm going to mix those up so that everybody's catered for. Okay, so without further ado, we're just going to start with a warm-up. Very slight bend in your knees to begin with. Hang on, I need a stopwatch. So we're here, very slight bend in your knees, and then big circles going round. Okay, now whilst I'm doing this beginner workout, I'm also going to give some modifications, some progressions to the people that are on this but just want to work a little bit harder. Okay, so I'm going to do the easier exercises with you, which is probably a good thing, given that swapping arms, I'm still sore from Saturday, believe it or not. I've been hobbling around for the last number of days. And going backwards. Okay, you're just going to do little hip rotations now, so rolling around the ball and socket joint, very, very easy, just mobilising your hips. So going around one way and then going around the other, that's it. It doesn't have to be really big circles, just trying to roll around. Okay, very slight bend in your knees, and then lift your arms up to here, and then you're going to rotate your upper body but keep your hips and knees locked in position. So you're going round one way, back to the centre, and then round the other way. So really try and focus on your technique. If you start to learn good movement patterns from the start, when you do advance to the intermediate or sessions or the advanced sessions, when you progress, your body's already going to have good foundations. Okay, so just marching on the spot, bring your knees up towards your chest. You can do a jog if you want to, or you can just march on the spot. Okay, just warming up your hip flexors. Okay, now break into a slightly faster run. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, have a little jog. And then into a chest press. Push your hands forward, elbows back, like you're doing a mid-air push-up. And into a shoulder press up towards the sky, reaching up. So it's always good to do your dynamic stretches at the start, static stretches at the end. Okay, feet a bit further apart, swing your arms across your body. So you should feel a pull, pectoral muscle where it meets your humerus. And across your back. Okay, gonna kick your bottom now. So kicking your bottom, eyes looking forward, just dynamically stretching out your quads. Just take your time. Okay, adopt a wider stance with your legs. Keep your upper body upright, transfer your weight from one side over to the other. So sit back, feeling that pull through your inside legs. Keep the body moving. God, I'm feeling all of this today. And we're only in the warm-up. Going around one side, then the other. Lower your back down very, very slow and controlled whilst bracing your abdominal muscles. So you're coming down to here, rotate across and across. Just stretching out those inside legs. Keep going for another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and just ease out of that. Okay, coming down into some light squats now. So feet shoulder width, upper body upright. You're going to sit down into the squat. Don't worry about the depth of the squat. Just coming down and up. Just do 10 reps. Sit down and up. So we're trying to activate the glutes, your bottom muscles, your quads. Also working these postural muscles in your back so you don't end up in this position. Try and sit back, imagine there's a chair behind you. I've lost count now. Let's do a couple more. And ease out of that. Okay, from here now you're going to go feet shoulder width, slight bend in your knees. You're going to crawl forward into a push-up position. So you're going to come down, crawl forward, keeping your hips as stable as you can. Notice my knees aren't moving around. You get to this position and then you pause. If that's too tough for you, just drop down onto your knees. So you're here, still activating the same muscles, just not quite as difficult. So engage your abs. Okay, and then if you can, come back up into push-up position. Take your left foot up by your left hand. Oh, struggling with those today. And then push down through the hips, lift up, open up your chest, back to the center, and swap. So you're here, push down through the hips, lift up, open up the chest, back to the center. Don't worry if you can't do these. One more on each side. I really need to stretch out. And open up, back to the center. One more of those, I'm going to crawl back in. So push down through the hips, opening up the hip joint, open up the chest, back to the center, feet back, crawl back in, have a stand up. Okay, so that is the warm-up finished. We're going to move on to the main set in a moment and I'll explain what you're going to do. Right, so this is a level 1 beginner workout. We're going to be doing 40 seconds of work with a 30-second rest. There are 3 rounds, and within each round we're mixing it up. We're doing some upper body work, some lower body, working around the body basically, and at the end of each round we're going to do something to raise the heart rate a little bit. This is beginner, so these exercises might not be challenging enough for some people. If that's the case, go and find another workout on YouTube, on ZipFit TV, or you can do this. Not every session has to be full pelt, so remember you might do an advanced one day, you might do a beginner the next. So just to try and mix it up a little bit, depending on your mood, depending on how you feel. We have good days and bad. So yeah, just bear that in mind. Okay, so first exercise you're going to do is a static squat. So you're doing 40 seconds of work, and then in the 30 seconds I'm going to explain the next exercise. I'm going to try and talk to you as much as I can whilst we're doing this. Okay, so static squat. You start this position, feet shoulder width, getting ready to go. 3, 2, 1, and go. So you're going to sit back, keeping your upper body upright, sit down. You don't have to go too deep. Remember, this can also be modified by coming up a little bit, or you can go a little bit deeper. Okay, so hold in that position. Brace your abdominal muscles, eyes looking forward, and hold in there. Okay, this is 40 seconds of work, so you should feel this through your quads mainly here. Hopefully in the glutes a little bit. Try and keep your feet flat, so don't lift up your toes. And trying to line up your ankles, knees, shoulders. Okay, moving on to a static square push-up next. So you're going to come down onto your knees. It's really important you get yourself into neutral spine first, or at least attempt to. So you're in this position, your wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, eyes looking just slightly forward. You don't look straight down because your head drops. Do a pelvic sway one way, sway the other way, mid position. Okay, we're off. So you're going to come to this position and just hold there. So, nice and straight. You have got natural curves running through your back. And apply pressure. Very, very slight bend in your arms, and push down into the ground like trying to push the ground away from you. So that activates the muscles up at the top of the rib cage that attach to your shoulder blades, and it brings them in. So hold in there. Don't worry if you can't do the full 40 seconds. And remember, you can drop to your knees to do this. Really try and focus on engaging your abs. Okay, so hold in there. Well done. Okay, so now moving on to side plank on your knees. So elbow on the floor, thighs parallel, and basically your leg is like that, so you're at 90 degrees. You're going to drive your hips up. So you're going to drive your hips up, open up your chest, and hold in that position. We're doing 40 seconds on each side. Okay, and lifting up. So your elbow is underneath your shoulder. So here, straight down. You're engaging your abdominal muscles. Make sure your head's back. You don't want to be here. Okay, we don't want to compress the cervical vertebrae. Bring your head back, open up your chest. If you're finding that that's a little bit too easy, then you can come up into full position, either scissor stance or one foot on top of the other. Okay, so you just hold in there. 8 seconds to go, don't forget to breathe. 3, 2, 1, and stop in there. So what we're doing here is we're working the muscles down the side of the spinal column. It contracts muscles in here, called the quadratus lumborum, amongst other things, abdominal work. Also working a lot of stabilizing muscles around your shoulders. So over to the other side, same again. Thighs parallel, elbow underneath your shoulder. So thighs in line here. You're going to drive your hips up, okay? And off you go. So you're in this position. Head back. So I've said this many times before, you don't have to go full pelt all the time. And it actually sometimes does you good to go back to the basics and make sure you get those right before you move on to the next level. And if you are feeling particularly tired or unwell and you just fancy a slightly easier workout, then come and do one of these sessions rather than say an advanced session. Okay, we're nearly there. 2, 1, and rest. Okay, moving on to cycle abs, and what I call stage 1 of cycle abs. So if you've got a prominent curve in your lower back, you're just going to do a slight tilt. Okay, then you're going to raise one leg up to here, and then your other leg. So you're in this position. Okay, you're going to interlock your fingers, lift your chest just slightly, and you're not going to rotate. Your legs are just going to go out and in. Okay, you don't have to fully extend your legs. So you're in this position. So going out and in. Take your time. So engaging those abs, keeping your lower back in contact with the ground. Okay, 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stopping there. Just bear in mind, there's no point in doing any of these exercises, or any exercise for that matter, if you feel like you could injure yourselves. So just take your time, and if something doesn't feel right, you're feeling pressure in your neck or your back, you must stop. Okay, we're doing monkey march next. So feet shoulder width, like we did in the warm-up. You're going to bend, crawl forward, out into the push-up position, crawl back in, stand up. Off we go. So come down, crawl forward to this position. We're slowing it down. It does get the heart rate up, but we're slowing down and focusing on the technique. So sit down, crawl forward, very, very slow and controlled, keeping those hips stable. Get to that position, don't let your back drop. Crawl back in, onto your heel, stand up. So focus on the technique first. Engage those abs. Crawl back in, onto your heel, stand up. Okay, and stopping there. That's the end of round 1. Moving on to round 2. We're starting with single leg bounds. So whatever level of ability you are, this is good exercise. Toes in line, lengthen your body, stand up nice and tall. Slight bending your knees. You're going to come up into your tiptoe and then lift your leg up and just hold in that position there. Okay, and you're off. So you lift your leg up, broaden your chest, look forward. So you're trying to lengthen out your spine. Hold in there. Now you can close your eyes if you want to make that a lot harder, but you can just open them up. So hold in that position. You've got a slight bend in the leg you're standing on. You're bracing your abdominal muscles. This knee's up to here. A modification is to drop your leg a little bit. That is slightly harder. Hip flexors having to work a bit harder there. Okay, and you're over to the other side. So what you're working here is the stabilizing muscles around your ankles and your hips. So make sure they're really, really strong, and then whatever sport you're doing or exercise, you've got really good stability. Okay, so same again on the other side. Onto one tiptoe. You're going to lift the leg up. Getting ready. So onto one tiptoe, open up your chest, brace your abdominal muscles. Okay, and lifting up. So look straight ahead. I see so many people when I'm teaching exercise, they're looking down at the ground, and that really isn't helping your posture, because you end up in this position with your shoulders slumped. Broaden your chest, open it up, and look forward. And just hold in there, don't forget to breathe. We're going to move on to push-up jacks after this, single leg, so we're going to be working our triceps and chest, and inside outside legs, glutes. A bit more challenging in the next exercise. Okay, ease out of that. We're going to go back down into push-up position now. So you're in this position. Wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, eyes looking forward, sway one way, sway the other way, mid-position between those two. Then you're going to set your legs back. Okay, eyes looking forward. You're going to step out to the side and in, step out to the side and in. Okay, and off you go. Now you can do little steps, tiny steps, or you can go much bigger, stepping out and in, stepping out and in. Just remember, the important part is you're keeping your shoulders and your hips locked in position. Don't worry if you can't do the full 40 seconds. If you find that you're only able to do push-ups on your knees, you might find it's quite challenging. So working your abdominal muscles, stepping out and in. It's very slow, it's very controlled. Okay, dropping down. Hope you're doing alright here. Going into bridge next. So set yourself up, spend a bit of time doing this. Ankles, knees, hips in line. Relax your shoulders. You're going to do a slight tilt, pull from where your pubic bone is, and you're going to roll up off the floor, one vertebrae at a time. You get to the top here, squeeze your glutes and pushing from the heel, and then roll down one vertebrae at a time. Okay, off we go. So do that little tilt. So you're rolling up bottom, lower back, rib cage, shoulder blades, and then you want a nice straight line here. So come down. Try and get that rolling motion. So coming up to the top, lower yourself down. Really good stretch, active stretch of your hip flexors, rectus femoris, and also good for spinal mobility, hip stability. If there's ever an exercise I would go to if I was working in an office, it would be that one. It's fantastic. Okay, so you've got side plank pulses this time. So you're on one elbow and on your knee again. Drive your hips up off the ground, so you're here and you're adding in pulses this time. So your head's back and you're just going to drop down and up. So little pulses this time. So you should feel a contraction in the side here. It's a little bit stronger. You can revert back to the one you did in round one if you wish. So coming down, pulse. So try to pull from the side of your body. Don't just push through your shoulder. Okay, over to the other side. Got 30 seconds though. Okay, so one knee on the floor. Nice straight line here. Thighs in line. Elbow directly underneath your shoulder. Okay, you're going to drive your hips up. Going in 10 seconds. So straight line, ankle, hip, shoulder. Okay, off we go. It's coming up. So you're in this position, drop down a couple of inches, drive up. Head back, drop down, come on. Sun's in my eyes there. Keep working. Breathe in as you come down. Breathe out as you lift. Okay, I hope you're still with me. Moving on to clock next, or compass. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a compass. You're going to jump forwards, north, back to the centre, east, back to the centre, south, back to the centre, west, back to the centre. Okay, so you're going to go like that. Forwards, in, side, in, back, in, left, in. Okay? 2, 1, and go. Forwards, side, back, left. Forwards, side, back, left. You can go the other way as well if you want. If you want to make that a little bit more challenging and never go around that way. And on the side, back, left. Back the other way again, side, back, left. So a little bit of a pulse raiser. Okay, good work. Moving on to round 3, final round. We're going to start with squat to bounce. Sorry, squat to single leg bounce. So you're going to come down into the squat like this, and then you're going to come out of the squat, come up onto one leg, hold very briefly, put your foot down, sit down, over to the other side. And off we go. Sit down into the squat, push from the heel, come up, 1, 2, sit down, come across. So notice as I'm coming out of the squat, it's a lateral movement, so I'm starting to come up. See here, sit down, come across. So here, keep looking forward. It's quite subtle, but you should feel a little bit in the side of your glutes as you start to come out of that squat. And again, incorporating a little bit of balance. Let's do one more of those. Okay, push-ups, but on your knees. So, do your pelvic tilts again, find your neutral spine. So you're in this position, wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Okay, eyes looking slightly forward. Sway one way as far as it will go, sway the other way. Now find that mid position between the two, walk forwards, cross your ankles, eyes looking forward, and then dropping down. So focus on keeping your chin tucked in, leading with the chest. So we're working the backs of your arms, your triceps. Notice my body and legs all come down at the same time. Okay, so which makes this a little bit more challenging. You're right on the top part of your kneecap and up. Okay, moving on to back extensions. So lying on your front this time, legs together, brace your abdominal muscles. That stops the hyperextension through your lower back, so you don't want to push through your lower back. Oh. So here, eyes looking slightly forward, stretch out your body, lift your arms up, going in 3, 2, 1, and lift. So come in, up and down. So engaging your abs. So you're pulling with your back and lifting up your chest. Five seconds. Okay, then we're going to move on to front plank. And you're very, very welcome to do front plank on your knees. It's still effective, still gets your abdominal muscles. So you've done your pelvic tilt. You're basically going to be on your knees. So you're in this position. Okay, there. If you feel like you are starting to get a bit stronger, then put your feet down, lengthen out your body and hold. Okay, but you can do this on your knees. And off we go. So lengthen out your body, pushing down, stretching out, stretch out your spine. Just make sure your elbows are directly below your shoulders. Pull your hip bones towards each other. We're trying to engage your transverse abdominals. Hold in there. 10 seconds to go. Keep working, well done. Okay, stopping there. Last exercise. It's just a march on the spot, a fast march, okay? So you're just doing this, and if you want, you can go at this kind of pace, or you're gonna go full pelt and do a sprint to finish. Okay, we're just gonna do the march. So you can do fast high knees. Obviously there are different stages of beginner. 3, 2, 1 and go. So we're just going to start off with the march. Just bringing your knees up towards your chest. The knees up. If that's not challenging enough for you, then bring in a little bit of speed. And if you're still finding that very, very easy, then really start to pick up the pace. Okay? So I'm glad of this workout today. Really nice just to get the body moving. Especially when you've had some intense sessions. Okay, and stopping there. Give yourself a round of applause. Well done. I hope you enjoyed that. What it does allow me to do with the beginner, with level 1s, is just talk through technique a little bit more, which is absolutely crucial. If you want to progress, get the exercises right, and then when you come to doing more advanced sessions, you're going to reap the benefit. So just turning this off. Have a great day. Thank you for joining me. Again, apologies for Monday, but now there should be a good flow of sessions coming through. The next session I'm going to do, legs and back willing, is an advanced session, just to mix it up. So that'll be on Friday, and then next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, back to normal. But I'm going to be doing beginner, intermediate and advanced. Okay, so and I'll be mixing that up. Okay, so if this is too hard for you or too easy, pick a different workout and go to those instead. Okay, thank you for joining me. You take care. Please share this with your friends and have a great day.